Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tap In with Tristan. We got another Fit Lab 15 segment. I'm joined by one of my soccer young ladies, Miss Marissa Resendez. Talk to him real quick.
Hi, I'm Marissa. I play soccer at Midwestern State University. I've been playing soccer literally my whole life since I was about 3 years old. I actually used to do other sports.
What other,
Yeah.
what other sports did you
Um, I actually grew up playing, or I did cheer. That was like my main thing.
really?
All all the way up until I was like eighth grade. I did cheer. I also did volleyball, but I had to choose because it was just so much and it started getting more serious as I got older. So I chose soccer, but yeah, I've been doing that since I was like 3 years old.
So you've been involved with something since 3 years old. Wow. So this is awesome. What made you choose soccer over all of the other ones?
I don't know. I think I had a way more like connected to it because of how much fun I had. Like the feeling when you score a goal is just like awesome because I'm more of an attacking player, so I've played up top, like the forward position my whole life. And up until like this year, I came to college and now I'm an outside mid, which is you still get to score, but it's like you have to play both offense and defense. So it's like definitely a really hard position to play. Um, but yeah, no, like I've just chose soccer because I had a better like feel for that one, and like I just felt like that was the one that I knew I was gonna do for a really long time.
Yeah. So how you been feeling about that decision? Was it stressful or a lot of pressure? Because I'm sure some of our young athletes that are watching this show may play multiple sports. And how did
Mhm.
you choose?
Yeah, it was definitely really stressful because my mom was like, I want you to do cheer, and my dad's like, I want you to play soccer. So it was really stressful, like having to choose one because it was like my dad had to like, okay, like you have to pick one now, like you can't do this like for the rest of the time. But yeah, so it's just like it's really hard because and then it got even like once I got to like 9 years old is when I started playing academy soccer,
Right.
and that's when it got even more serious. But then after my first year of academy, I ended up going to like a different team, and I started playing for FC Dallas.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
my first my first club team was named Polaris. It's not even a club anymore. They like changed it. So yeah, and oh my god, I forgot what I was saying.
And what area did you grow up in for the people? Like what state, what area, what high school did you go to?
Oh, I am from Grand Prairie, Texas. I've lived there my entire life. I went to Lake Ridge High School in Mansfield, Texas. I still live in Grand Prairie. I'm on the border of Mansfield and Grand Prairie, but I'm still on the Grand Prairie side. So I've been a Grand Prairie girl my whole life.
So you've been dealing with the DFW soccer circuit, correct? Now, how is that? For anybody that's looking to get into this soccer, once you start getting competitive, you said that you played for FC Dallas, which is a pretty high level team, am I right?
Yes.
What does that look like? The work rest relationship. Is it a lot of time on doing it all year round, or is it, just this season and you're off? What does that look like for somebody that's looking to get into that?
It's definitely like you have to put everything you got into it because if you don't want to like play all the time, then it's definitely not the thing for you. Like, because we do practice every day, or like we used to practice like 2 to 3 times a week
Mhm.
with games on the weekends, depending on like if we were in tournaments or not. Like it would be more than 2, 3 games. So it got tiring. So you just like really have to be sure that that's what you want to do because if not then you're just gonna hate it. It's hard, but luckily for me it wasn't like that, and I love being at practice. I love being with my teammates, my coaches, and just having fun with them and getting better every day.
So it's kind of what you put out is what you're going to get from it because it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. It's going to be a lot. Have you ever any time felt burnt out from it? You know what I mean? Like frustrated with the sport, like man, and then like I'm back in it. Have you felt moments like that?
Yes, I definitely have. I've even come to the like point where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Like I've told my parents before, like this was like years ago, but I was like, I think I want to quit. Like it's really hard, especially when you're at a young age and like nowadays you're trying to start recruitment for college like early age. So like at that point I was probably like freshman
Mhm.
so in high school, and I was really stressed out because our coaches are like, okay, there's college coaches coming to watch us play, like y'all need to be like on point, like it's like
You
it's the
felt pressure from that? Did you feel pressure from that?
Oh, yes, I did, especially because a lot of well, I was on a like a really good team, like we were
Did you play
really
up or did you play your age?
um whenever I was younger, I played up and then I started playing my age, but then I played with girls who were a year older than me because I don't know if you know about like the age peer.
Tell us
There
about that. Tell us about the age period in soccer.
so I think it was my 8th grade year. Uh, we were like the best FC Dallas team in our league, and we were like we would win a lot of our tournaments. Like we were really up there, and they did this age peer thing where if you were born in 2002, you had to be split into a different team. So I was playing with girls who were O2s and O1s, and the team that I was on was majority O1s. So we got split and we weren't able to be able to stay on the same team after that. And it was really frustrating because like we were really good. So after that, we had to create a whole new team. And I'm an O2, so all of the O1s were like up and with different team now. And there was probably like
This is the type of stuff that goes on in the select world that
yeah.
outside of your control, right? How was
Mhm.
your parents feeling? Were they involved, or they just kind of drop you off and let you do your thing, or they was kind of hands on? Because everybody has a different situation. What was your
Yeah. My parents were hands-on. They take me to practice like every single day or week that we had practice. They would be at every single one of my games.
yeah,
Uh, they love to be there and watch me and interact with parents and the players and like I played for FC Dallas, so I played for FC Dallas for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years,
yeah,
and then I played ECNL, which was like the highest league of the girls for I think I played with that league for about 3 years,
okay.
and we trained with FC Dallas in Frisco. So I would have to drive to Frisco 3, 4 times a week just for
How
an hour
far is
and a half
that?
training.
How far is that for people that don't know from
It's
your
an hour from Grand Prairie,
So
an
you're gonna
hour.
have to be moving if you're trying to do this select. Now, at this time, are you thinking about playing at the next level?
Yes.
So if you're thinking about playing to the next level, you're gonna have to be doing some traveling.
Mhm.
Is it fair to say that you're gonna be sacrificing some of your time, or whether your friends and family, in order to pursue this? Is that fair to say?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I don't definitely wouldn't probably uh make my parents drive an hour for practice and games 4 to 5 times a week if I wasn't for sure that I wanted to play in college. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of like dedication to do all of that.
Great word. It's dedication. Now, were you a confident player? Are you a confident player? And what do you think ties into confidence?
I grew up as a confident player and then I had a major injury. I tore my ACL at in 8th grade.
Wow.
And I feel like ever since that happened, I've been a different player. And I mean, I feel like my confidence has lacked because I'm afraid of getting hurt like that again. It puts a big dent in like the soccer because you can't play for 8 months So it was really hard, like sitting out, going to practice, games, watching my teammates play, and I'm just can't do anything.
Wow.
Um, I definitely was low whenever I was coming back on confidence. It's definitely gotten a lot better. I still feel like I'm a little hesitant sometimes, but
Trying
I
to work through it. You're trying to work through it. Now, prior to the injury, which we see quite often
Mhm.
in soccer, in
Yes.
basketball,
Mhm.
especially in the female game, were you doing any type of like strength training or anything, or you were just doing pretty much strictly soccer and like speed and agility things? Were you doing any type of like um, injury preventative exercise type stuff, or not so much?
Not at that point. It was like after I tore my ACL was whenever I feel like I noticed everybody was doing it. So I tore mine, and then like I had a lot of teammates who also did the same thing, or like other people that I know, because I know so many people, like just because of
Sure.
soccer, it just ties everyone together. That's so after that is when I feel like everyone was like, okay, we need to do prevention uh things to help with that.
So
So
come in the Fit Lab. Again, she's one of our Fit Lab athletes, and we love having you be a part of the family. Do you see a benefit in having that type of training with Fit Lab or wherever you go, regardless of where you're at in the United States or across the globe? Do you see the benefit in that? And do you think that should be included at an earlier age for soccer?
yes, I definitely do see the benefit. It's definitely different than what we do here in college. So it was really nice to be at home and get some work in doing things that I'm not used to that will help me grow as a player and athlete. Uh, so I definitely think it's beneficial.
Yeah, so this is the type of conversation I try to have with some of the parents that if you're getting them at an earlier age with age appropriate exercises and movement patterns is going to be beneficial in reducing the risk of injury.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's beautiful. How has the experience been crossing over into college, especially with this COVID situation? How are we doing with that? Because this is
Uh,
different.
yeah. So, I mean, I honestly think that it's been easier for us because it's just like we can't do a lot of the things that we would normally do. So I was actually supposed to report to be here on campus like the first week of August. We weren't able to come until like weeks after that. So we were behind on schedule of what we wanted to when we wanted to start training.
Right.
Um, we didn't have a season in the fall, so so for college we have a fall season and we have a spring season for soccer. And because of COVID, we weren't able to have a fall season, which is why things were easier for us as incoming freshmen because we weren't stressed about training every single day, having games during the week, missing class, and like having to play. We
Right.
were able to like take it slow and get our work done and focus on school this first semester and get a hang of how college actually is.
Right.
So I that's where I think it was easier for us because our coach even said like whenever like other freshmen come in, they're just thrown into it and
Yeah.
they have to start training and like getting up. Like our coach used to have training at like 8 in the morning. So
Yeah.
he even changed that for us because that's how it was for them last year. But this year we train now in the evenings around 4 o'clock.
Trying to just help the adjustment. So there's some pros and cons going on.
Yeah.
Pros are allowing you incoming freshmen to get adjusted better. I'm sure the
Hmm.
cons is you're not playing other competition. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
playing against other. So that's kind of the pros and cons. But everybody's been affected by the COVID in certain situations. So what are some words of advice and of encouragement to some of the parents as well as the young athletes that want to get involved with soccer? You know what I mean? It's a great sport, it's a global sport, but I think there's a lot, especially in America, that people don't know about the circuit. How do you get recruited, high school, all of these things. In a nutshell, what are some of the things that are bullet points that you would tell them?
For parents, I'd say to make sure that you're there for a child because, I mean, it's just hard for them nowadays because things are a lot different and things start being more serious way early on in children, especially as athletes because it's college. Um, I just say that if you are really wanting to play uh, as a college athlete, you have to make sure that you're going to be dedicated and hardworking and like do the extra little things because anything that you do extra is going to make you become better as an athlete. And I just think that's very important.
I,
So,
I agree. That's super valid. And also, don't forget to stop and smell the roses. Enjoy the
yeah.
process.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that's hard as a former athlete myself is to really just enjoy the now. It's always what's next. That's kind of what we're taught and hardwired to do. So still find that balance to what's next to keep you from being complacent, but also enjoy the process, enjoy the people around you, celebrate them because I know you're going to want to be celebrated. So find that balance and uh,
Mhm.
yeah, it only comes once. It only comes once. So enjoy this thing.
Yeah.
So Mar, thank you again for taking some time out of your busy schedule to sit
Yeah.
down.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So again, people, please subscribe. Just hit that button. It's free. Make sure you comment, like, share all of this, and let's build this beautiful platform. So again, thank you, Mara. I'll be talking to you offline. I look forward to watching your career, and thank you for being a part of the Fit Lab family. You have a great day. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.